Here with me is Dr. Emily Landau. She's director of the Arms Control and Regional Security Program at the INSS. Emily, thanks very much for being here.
Hi, good evening.
So after the images that we see there of where chemical attacks are alleged to have happened, we saw in January of 2016 the OPCW saying all chemical weapons declared by Syria were destroyed. How much do they know about what they don't know that is still there?
I don't think they know a lot about what they don't know. All they can verify is the arsenal that Assad declared, that Syria declared, and that's what they can relate to, and that's what they have related to. But there were fears all along that Assad would keep some small, undefined portion of his chemical arsenal and not declare it and not turn it over, of course, to the OPCW.
While we see a lot of people pointing a finger at Assad, including even the White House at this point, is it possible that it is not the Assad regime in terms of rebels possessing chemical weapons? What do we know about what kind of weapons are in their hands?
Well, look, I'd say the following. First of all, normally on relating to events like this, I have my 24-hour rule where I don't do interviews until 24 hours have gone by, because things can change very quickly, and we're dealing now with very initial information, and therefore we have to be very careful with any, assessments that we make at this point. Having said that, I mean, we already have a record of Assad using chemical weapons against his own population. And this was, of course, in August 2013, which led to the whole process of Syria joining the CWC. And at that time as well, there was all this speculation, maybe it's the rebels, maybe it's somebody else, maybe they got their hands on some chemical weapons and they used it and it wasn't Assad, and they went back and forth. And finally, of course, the UN report declared that it was Assad that used it. And therefore, I would say that speculation at this point leads most to Assad. You don't have rebel groups being able, obviously, to develop these kind of chemical weapons easily. And whether, Assad could be developing more chemical weapons, and there is a chance that some was stolen, but I would say that's the lower.
Just briefly, are there any estimates of how many of these actual chemical weapons are still in Syria?
No, I don't think anybody has a clear idea. Everyone, I mean, all the reports would mention he probably kept a small portion. He probably declared about 95% of his chemical weapons arsenal. But that 5%, whether it's 5, whether it's closer to 10, I don't think anybody really knows.